Welcome, class of 2020. This is not what we had in mind when we planned your graduation. We want it to be in person, with you, hugging and high-fiving and celebrating your amazing success. But not this year, unfortunately. You have overcome much, not only obstacles related to family and work and everyday occurrences, but also to COVID-19, quarantining, and illness. You have learned all about virtual and blended learning. You have mastered wearing your face masks, classes on Zoom, spring completion academies, and have found areas that have the best internet. You made it. There are so many success stories. Stories like high school students at EVSC's Early College High School, Tell City and Perry Central High Schools that graduated from college while they were graduating from high school. You are now at the four-year colleges studying toward your bachelor's degree, or you have entered the workforce after gaining the skills you needed at Ivy Tech. We have had ASAP students who started the accelerated program absolutely sick of going to high school, but found that perseverance pays off, earning associate degrees in half the time, twice as fast, continually challenging themselves to be better. One outstanding senior had entered the program with, in her words, not so great high school scores in dual credit math courses. And even though she didn't need to, went on to improve those grades by retaking those courses at Ivy Tech, even to the extent of taking an extra class that she didn't need at night, just to prove to herself and her parents that she could get an A in trigonometry. She is now studying at a four-year institution on a scholarship, and the Navy is her future. Nearly 200 of you realized what a great option Ivy Tech is as our springboard to getting your bachelor's degree for much less cost. Through the Transfer as a Junior program, upwards of $10,000 in savings have been realized. You have made it sometimes by sheer will and always with the assistance of faculty and staff who care, who want you to succeed, who have been with you to encourage and help. When we know what you're going through, we are going to always throw out the biggest safety net we can and do what we need to do to help you. Do not forget about that as you move forward. Our Career Services Department is here to help, even after graduation. The credentials and degrees you have earned are among nearly 2,000 we have awarded to graduates in the fall of 2019, spring 2020, and summer 2020 semesters. Congratulations. More than 800 of those credentials were technical certificates, and nearly 500 were certificates, and almost 600 were associate degrees. Many of you have multiple credentials under your belt as you enter the workforce or move on to working towards a bachelor's degree. You are joining the ranks of thousands of graduates who came before you, who are working in our communities. You will be the ones who remember where you were in your life when you entered Ivy Tech, and will remember those who were here for you. 2020 has not been kind to us, but you made it. Now I would like to introduce to you a woman who is all about giving to her community. Lou Porter is this year's honorary degree recipient. Having worked for 23 local nonprofit boards over the years, Lou is a servant leader. She has served as a director on the Ivy Tech Foundation Board for more than 20 years. In 2011, Lou became the first director of the Evansville African American Museum. Prior to that, she was Assistant Vice President and Community Development Officer at Integra Bank for 17 years. Because of her tireless work for our community and her dedication to Ivy Tech Community College, I now award you the honorary degree of Associate of Science in College and Community Service. Lou?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chancellor Vidal. It is my pleasure and honor to announce this year's Alumni Achievement Award recipient, Linda Gamroth, holds an Associate of Applied Science degree in Visual Communication and Photography from Ivy Tech. She took the knowledge and skills she gained and turned what had been a lifelong hobby into a lucrative grassroots business, bringing joy to couples and families across the Midwest and stunning photography of their special days. She faced common challenges with uncommon strength and resiliency as a young student, raising a son and working multiple jobs, but never wavered from her goals. Congratulations, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Today's ceremony is recognition of all the hard work that you've done to make it here. I could not be prouder of the determination and tenacity you have shown. If there is one thing I know about our students, it's how far you are willing to go to make a better future for yourself and your families. The great strides and accomplishments you've made in your time at Ivy Tech have not been easy. Many have overcome extreme adversity, working long hours, more recently job losses, financial challenges, caring for children and family members, and yet you are here with us today. We understand the sadness that comes from being unable to celebrate this occasion in person with your peers, friends, and family. Please do not let the current environment stop you from safely honoring the tremendous job you've done. I also implore you to continue learning beyond today. The growth and development that you've experienced as a student is not over. Life will continue to change, and you must choose to constantly adapt with it. As we have seen in this situation, as well as in economic downturns, those who thrive are those who continue to learn, grow, and adapt. And Ivy Tech will be here to continue assisting you with improving your skill set as your career evolves. Now, allow me the honor of conferring your degrees. Exercising the authority of the state and campus boards of trustees, legally vested by the people of Indiana through the General Assembly and Governor, and delegated by the trustees to me, I now recognize your recommendation by the faculty and administration for having successfully completed the prescribed courses of study. And I confer upon each of you the appropriate associate degree, technical certificate, or certificate as recommended with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Thank you for sharing your talent and wisdom with us. Remember, this is your time, but you are not alone. We are cheering you on today and here for you in the future. And we are counting on you to contribute your considerable talent to making our state and your community a great place to live and work. Congratulations, graduates.
When I first wrote this speech, graduation was fast approaching. I talked about fear and excitement and wonder at our new paths once we graduated. But plans changed, and several Zoom sessions later, we all graduated with October as our new opportunity to walk and enjoy the fruits of our labor. I wrote a second speech about how life was different since graduating and how proud I was of all of us for putting our noses to the grindstone and finishing strong. It would seem this pandemic wasn't done with us yet, and so I packed my cap and gown up, put it on a shelf, and sat down to write my third and final speech. As soon as we graduated, I was allowed to become licensed as a paramedic early because the healthcare system was so critically short for providers. 4 days after graduation, I was handed the keys to an ambulance and told, "Good luck, you're going to need it." The 911 system was constant and unforgiving. There was no room for doubt or weakness. My dispatchers needed me to be ready, and my patients needed me to know what I was doing. I was the person they called when everything went wrong and there was no more help coming. I was the help. You'd be amazed at simply how much you can learn when you're absolutely terrified out of your mind. Now, to say the last 2.5 years were hectic would be an understatement, but it's taught me a pretty considerable amount about who I am and what I can accomplish. I've done my best to condense that down to 5 lessons that I'd like to share with you today. The first lesson is that trying to maintain control of everything all the time will eventually wear you down to nothing. It's easy to get tangled up trying to control the chaos, but you can't. And if you're anything like me, you have entirely too many people relying on you for you to ruin yourself trying, so don't bother. The second lesson is that while you may not be able to control the chaos, you can absolutely control your reaction to it. In times of crisis, people will usually look for the calmest person in the room. Be that person. Once you take your brain out of panic mode, you'll be amazed at how much simpler the problem usually is. The third lesson is that the world doesn't need any more slackers. You've all worked so hard to get here. Keep working. The fourth lesson is that if you want anybody to respect you, start by respecting yourself. When you respect yourself, you take pride in the work you put out, and I promise you the right people will notice. My final lesson is simply this. In all you do, be kind. You can master everything else I've said, but it'll all mean nothing if you've forgotten your humanity. Life now is stressful for everybody, and conflict is all over the place. So choose to assume the best in people and seek understanding instead of jumping to conclusions. When you have every right to be angry, reach for forgiveness before retaliation. This isn't letting the world walk all over you. It's choosing to be bigger than the people that would rather fight negativity with negativity. Kindness in an unkind world will not only set you apart, it will send a message that we're all capable of more. In closing, I just want you all to remember a couple things. Nobody gave this to us. This wasn't a gift, and it wasn't handed out just for showing up. We fought through every chapter, every paper, and every project for this. We found babysitters, picked up extra shifts, and traded sleep for this. When the world tried to collapse around us, we fought through hell to get where we are. So class of 2020, I challenge you to keep fighting. So plant your feet firmly and let's get to work. Thank you and congratulations. And now, my fellow classmates, I move my tassel in the time-honored tradition, showing we are all college graduates.
Graduates, we hope that you will consider joining us in May 2021 when we plan to have the best and biggest commencement ceremony ever, celebrating 2 years of graduates. Watch for more information this spring, and we will watch for you at the ceremony.